She's not able to be found now. She's 19 years old.
This was the last footage of her alive that night. What is the first thing you do when you turn 18? Most people might answer they would drink a beer or get their driver's license. Teenagers want to grow up as fast as they can. One night, Kenneka Jenkins had one too many drinks at a party. The next day, her body was found in the freezer with a missing shoe. She had just turned 18 and wanted to try her first drink. So, what happened to her? Who froze her body? The date was September 8th, 2017. The Crowne Plaza Hotel was booked for a big party. There were people chugging alcohol like it was water, adults having the time of their life. But nobody could have guessed that on this day, a tragedy would have struck when Kenneka Jenkins was found dead in a freezer. In the CCTV footage, we can see that it is 3:24 a.m. and Kenneka just came out of the elevator after a long night of partying. She seems not to be able to walk in a straight line, which is proof that she got very drunk at the party. She stumbles multiple times just after getting out of the elevator with her friends nowhere in sight. The footage cuts to a hotel hallway where we see Kenneka leaning onto the wall and pushing herself, barely walking to go somewhere. She seems to be lost, looking everywhere around, trying to find her way. We cut to another camera where we see her stumble again and bump left and right, trying to find her way. The camera cuts again, and we see a staff area that should not be accessible to any hotel guests. It looks like it's a large kitchen that hotels normally have. Kenneka can be seen stumbling her way into the kitchen, going in and out looking for something. She comes out of the kitchen and finds herself in a hallway again. She is clearly lost. She makes her way back from the hallway to the kitchen again, and there we see Kenneka walk her way into the Crowne Plaza freezer. This was the last footage of her alive that night. Now the question is, where were her three friends, and why did they leave her drunk and unable to walk? Where were the hotel staff, and was this preventable? To answer all those questions, we have to go to the beginning of that night. Kenneka had turned 18 a few months prior and wanted to go to the Crowne Plaza Hotel party with three of her friends. But being concerned that her mother would not allow her to go to this party, she lied to her mom, telling her that she was going to the cinema to watch a movie with her friends. They entered the Crowne Plaza Hotel at 1 a.m. and partied for 2 hours straight. We were able to see some footage of the party when Kenneka's friends went live on their social media. In the footage, Kenneka can be seen partying with her best friends. She seems perfectly fine in this footage. She doesn't seem drunk in any way, or her movement doesn't hint that she had been drinking up till that moment. But later on, we do see her friends smoking what seems to be weed. What we did find, though, is a Facebook post created after the incident from Kenneka's friend Irene, who was with her that night, and her post does mention about the guys at that party being too aggressive toward the women. The post states, as I quote, "Okay, so we all getting ready to get f***ed up, right? But we needed niggas at that party and it was my 19th, so of course some bitch was gonna get smacked that night. But everything was going well until Vontarius brought all them GD boys in the room and asked us what we thought. And Kenneka said, hell nah, that's not how I get down. And after that, everything went left because I knew I had brought the wrong crowd to my party, but we was just trying to turn up, and who had expected something like this to happen all in one night? But nobody was bearing Kenneka during my live video, and I only went live to try and throw a hint. If you don't catch my body language, then you wouldn't understand." What Irene was hinting at was that at one of her live streams, many people were listening carefully after the incident and thought Kenneka screamed, "Help me," as if someone had been assaulting her. Many started suspecting that she might have done something to Kenneka. That's why Irene tried to clear her name with this Facebook post. The post continues by saying, "I was really crying under them glasses the whole time. So next thing you know, me and Nika was on Snapchat and two boys run, and after we done recording, we are trying to keep Kenneka in there talking, but I want to holler at her and shit, but I'm not gonna lie, she was a little tipsy, but wasn't sloopy drunk." The rest of the post continues about Irene repeating herself multiple times about how the men at that party were making Kenneka uncomfortable, but she was not hurt in any way. She was just drunk and ready to go home. But no one was able to find her. The story then continues as you all saw in the CCTV footage at the beginning of our video. The next morning, a worried mother calls 911. It was Kenneka's mom worried sick about her daughter who had gone missing from the party. She received a call from Kenneka's friends and was informed about her being missing at 4 to 5 a.m., about an hour after she was seen going into the freezer in the CCTV footage.
911, where's the address of your emergency?
Yes, I'm at the Crowne Plaza at O'Hare Airport, and I was calling because my daughter came to to a party here last night, a gathering with her friends, and now her friends, they said that they left her on the front of the hotel, and she's not able to be found now. She's 19 years old.
And you said that and you said the Crowne Plaza at O'Hare Airport?
Yes, and they said that when her friends was asking earlier today, like about 4 o'clock in the morning, because they run the video cameras, they said that they didn't have no cameras. But now I came, and it was a lady, she said that she heard music, and she asked me that I want to go upstairs, and we went upstairs on the 11th floor, and it was someone came to the room, and she said that she did see my daughter there with a group of girls and a couple of guys. But that's all she just saw, because she was busy trying to get reception on her phone.
All right, well then, you know what? Are you sure you don't mean the Crowne Plaza in Rosemont?
Yes, yes it is. I'm sorry, the Crowne Plaza in Rosemont. That's exactly where it's at.
Kenneka's mother was worried out of her mind. Her voice was shaking as she made that call. Her daughter had only been missing for a few hours, and yet she already had a bad feeling.
And they were saying that they haven't seen your daughter since she left, or?
No, I'm sorry, it's a new shift, and they said that they haven't seen her. Well, of course they wouldn't have seen her, because this is like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Do you think it's possible maybe she went to one of her friends' houses, or?
No, actually, because she had my car. She was driving my car. I don't like nobody to drive my car because my insurance will not pay for no one besides her.
The call continues as Kenneka's mother talks about her breast surgery that she had went through recently, and Kenneka was taking care of her. But then she told the 911 operator something that we didn't see in the CCTV footage.
And when they went to get her cell phone, she was standing in the lobby, in the front lobby. And then when they came back down, she wasn't there anymore.
She was told by Kenneka's friends that they had left the party with her, but she had forgotten her cell phone, so they left Kenneka alone and drunk at the lobby while they went back inside to look for her phone, and when they came back, she wasn't there anymore. It seems something was definitely off about this case, no matter how you look at it. The more we dive deep into the evidence scattered around the internet, the more it feels like these women either made lots of bad decisions that night or something wasn't right.
So sorry, sir, but I just want to know, is it possible that maybe they can look at the camera?
I was about to say, even if I did send an officer, it would take a little bit in order for us to get the camera footage and for us to pass it on to the detectives division.
Okay. So what would you suggest?
Well, again, the only thing I would suggest maybe just give her a couple hours. She could have went somewhere with one of her other friends. I mean, and who knows what her friends are saying is true. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You could tell her not to be saying. You could tell it don't sound right. I'm a parent. I've been young before, and it's not sounding right. It don't sound right. Period. That's why I came out here myself.
It seemed like a mother's instinct was never wrong. She had already felt that her daughter was in danger and wanted the authorities to look into it as soon as possible, but her hands were tied as the authorities don't generally take action if an adult is missing for just a few hours.
Because it sounded like they had been drinking, honestly.
Yeah.
And I asked them, did she drink? And they said she had only 1 cup. But okay, my daughter ain't the type that normally, she can't even take liquor. We cannot take liquor. We take a sip of liquor, we drunk. Honestly. And I'm like, 1 cup is too much for her.
The call ended with the 911 operator advising Kenneka's mother to wait a few hours and call again, and then the police will get involved. The same day at around 1 p.m., the police came in to investigate, and as they went through the entire CCTV footage, they followed Kenneka's footsteps that ended at the hotel kitchen. They searched the kitchen and found her body lifeless and completely frozen in the freezer, locked up after 22 hours. Kenneka was found in a fetal position with severe frostbites already forming on her body. Her clothes were beside her, but there were no signs of any struggle or attempt of assault. The police sent her body to get an autopsy report, and it showed that Kenneka had very high levels of alcohol in her blood that night, as well as cigars that had not been medication. Kenneka had been very high and accidentally stumbled into the freezer, locking herself shut in the process and ending her life. During the investigation, the police also found that the credit card used to book the hotel that night was fraudulent, leading this case even deeper, pointing at the people in that party. Kenneka's mother took this case to the court, wanting justice for her daughter. The court case ran for years, and finally, after seeing all the evidence presented to the court, the judge ruled the case that Kenneka had died due to hypothermia due to cold exposure. Kenneka's mother was devastated at her loss. Her smiling daughter was no more, and she had died without getting justice for the negligence of everyone else. The death of Kenneka could have been stopped if only her friends had been responsible enough. She would have lived if the hotel had enough security during the night or if they locked up the staff area. There were many possibilities, but nothing will bring Kenneka back now that she is already gone. The court case became somewhat of an internet mystery, and people started making up their own theories on the case. Some would point fingers at Kenneka's friend Irene and say she was the one behind the tragedy. Her live stream had a background noise saying, "Help me," but in reality, there was no such noise. People often feel like hearing what they want to hear, and that's how internet rumors start. Only in this case, it was a rumor that could have destroyed someone's life after they had already lost their friend. Others made theories like, why do they all have to go find the cell phone? This was so irresponsible. Her friends are just as at fault as the hotel. Though the theory was somewhat right, her friends shouldn't have left her alone while drunk, but when you are 18, you don't think about the consequences before you do anything. The other conspiracy theories would be that there was a man following her around the hotel, seen in the CCTV footage. He must be behind the murder of Kenneka Jenkins. But in reality, there was no one seen in the footage. The rumors going around about a man following Kenneka or pulling her hand are all distortions in pixels in the CCTV footage. Kenneka's mom would later go on and sue the Crowne Plaza Hotel for $50 million. According to Kenneka's mother, her daughter was murdered that night and someone was trying to hide the evidence. The authorities at Crowne Plaza would defend themselves in court, saying that there was nothing that they could do and they are not responsible for the tragedy that took place. In my opinion, I felt like the Crowne Plaza Hotel were very uncooperative during the whole process. Allegedly, the hotel staff told Kenneka's mom that she actually needed a missing persons report before they could check the CCTV for her missing daughter. They seemed like they just wanted to keep their hotel's name clean.